Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be making a water bottle carrier, a different design than the one I had made in the previous videos. This is the one I had made in my other videos. If you haven't seen that already, you can go back and check it out. This video here, we're going to be making one that will fit the Stanley mug, or one like it. I had actually ordered a green one and I got a black one. So to make the water bottle bag, we're using some upcycled denim. These are a pair of my husband's old jeans. I'm using Velcro that doesn't even match in size, but that's okay, that'll work. And for the strap, I'm using webbing that I already had, but if you don't have any of this, then you can get a strap from an old handbag. Now I've already cut out the pieces we need. And for the pocket, I cut a 6 inches wide by 7 inches high, 2 pieces, one of the denim and one of the lining. And we're going to be sewing that piece first. And then for the main part, it was 11 inches high and it's 13.5 inches wide. And then about an inch down or so, I made a 2.5 inch square piece sticking out. So the first thing we need to sew is the pocket, because we're going to be sewing that onto the side here before we sew up the other pieces together. And I puff embroidered the front here with the word mom, and I filmed how I do that. I'm embroidering onto the pocket before I start sewing up the water bottle carrier. And I'm using a specially digitized font for puff embroidery, and I bought it off of Etsy. And I'm using 3mm thick foam that I just bought at the dollar store. So to finish up this embroidery, I'm going to be pulling this off. It's very easy to pull off now. And after it's done, you'll notice that there's some little bits of foam sticking out. And what you're going to do is just take, I have a heat gun. This will actually be my first time using this. But previously I always used a lighter. And my husband said, I am going to burn myself with this, but I'm going to prove him wrong. So I just wanted to mention that when you're doing the puff embroidery, try and match up your foam as close as you can to the thread. That, if it had a different color foam, it would show through. And also, like, the dollar store foam seems to work fine. So after embroidering that, we're going to be sewing these pieces together just around 3 sides. Leave the bottom open. So I've stitched up the sides and I'm just going to clip the corners so they're not as bulky when I turn it around. I have a pokey thing somewhere to make the corners come out more square and I don't know where I put it. We'll see if this will work. So I'm just going to go to the iron and press this flat, and I'm also going to press in the bottom. So after pressing the pocket, I marked on the front here where we're going to place it. And I've measured up 2.5 inches and over 1 3/4 inches. And then the width of our pocket is 4 inches wide. And the pocket itself is wider than that. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to place it where it's supposed to be. And I'm going to pin in place. These pins aren't very good. So this is where we're placing the pocket, and I'm going to just push down here and mark right here. We're going to make some little darts for the bottom. So like that, and I'm just going to mark it with a fabric marker. This one isn't. There we go. And I'm just going to draw a line like this. Probably just go up like this. Just slow. It's like it's long enough to make a dart. And I'll do the same on the other side. Try to make them the same height. And I'm going to go sew these darts. So I've sewn my darts. I'm just going to pin the pocket into place. And now I'm just going to stitch around the edge. So I have the pocket sewn in, so it has some space to put a phone in. And now we have to sew the front and the inside pieces. So I'm pinning them from the underneath here all the way around the bottom here. And I'm going to measure down about 1.5 inches from here. So I'm going to start sewing. I'm just going to sew around the bottom edge from that mark and around. I've sewn up the sides and I'm going to be putting the inside into here. pinning these together with the right sides together. So I'm going to stitch all the way around. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to stitch in my piece of Velcro onto this side. So I just quickly sewed in the piece of Velcro on the inside here, and I'm going to pin this, and then I'll just go and I'm just going to sew right around the edge here. So I just finished sewing around the edge here, and I'm going to trim the edges, and then we're going to turn it right side out. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We also have to do something before we turn it right side out. We have to make our corners. So I'm gonna go like this and make this seam go down straight down the center here. And I'm gonna pin that. I'm going to make a line across, straight across. That's 1.5 inches wide. Actually 2 inches. And we're making a bigger one. So I'm going to make that 2 inches. And I'm going to go and sew each corner. So I've sewn each corner up, and I'm just going to trim the excess fabric off. And if you're worried about fraying, you can go over the edge with a zigzag stitch. So now we're going to turn it right side out. So I have it all turned right side out and pressed, and I pressed in the top here, and I'm just going to clip it. So now we're going to make the straps. First thing we need to do is make the bottom piece that goes on to the bag. So about 2.5 inch strips. My little D-rings are actually too small, but that'll work. Now to place these, so we're going to be putting the Velcro there. So when we're carrying our bag, we're going to want it to have a strap here, right in front. So I'm going to place this here. Then I'm going to fold it in half. And place another one here. Now I'm going to sew right across the top. So I've sewn the top. Now we're going to make the strap. I cut a piece that's 55 inches long, and the first thing we need to do is sew this end on. I'm just going to go and sew that. So now that this is put on, I slid on this piece here, and I have it facing down, and this piece has the seam on the back side. I'm just going to pull it down like this. Then I'm going to pull this through. And of course, not twisting it like I just did. And pull that through. Like that. And then this end here, we want to make sure that everything is staying the same way and not twisted. And we want to have all these seams facing the same way. So now I'm just going to go and sew this, a zigzag stitch back and forth a couple times. We'll make it nice and sturdy. I'll be right back. So the strap is ready, but the last thing we need to do is sew the piece of Velcro onto this side. Nice and square. So I'm just going to go and sew that on. So I have the Velcro sewn on now. We're going to add the straps. Add our cup. And we're good to go. Oh, we also have to put the cell phone in here. And unfortunately, I am recording with the cell phone, but there's a lot of room here for the cell phone to go in, or whatever else you want to put in it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't yet subscribed yet, please subscribe and have a great day. Bye for now.